This conference will now be recorded.
Hey everyone, it's Jody with Wellspring Solutions. Today we're going to be talking about asking for and accepting help. And sometimes it seems that if there's an acute situation, like a brief illness or a surgical procedure that someone's recovering from, it's just easier to ask for and accept help. People often just rally behind that family. Maybe someone sets up a meal train, they call or text with, checking in phone calls. But when you're caring for someone with a chronic illness, it just gets a little bit more difficult and less comfortable asking for and accepting help. And I think in general, it's not easy to ask for help. You might not want to inconvenience somebody, or you might look as though you can't handle things yourself. But unfortunately, when you caregive for someone with a chronic illness, that outlook can lead to feeling isolated, and even depression. So, learning to ask for and accept help, especially during these challenging times, is very important. It will benefit you and it will also benefit your loved one. You really just need to think about it as an act of self care. It is a way to reduce caregiver stress. And accepting help, and just taking a step back and recognizing when you might need a hand is an act of strength. It is not a weakness. And your loved one, again, will benefit from it too. So, even during these periods of social distancing, there are still ways for people to have their home, and you can still ask and learn to think about this in the future. So let's go ahead and just get started, and we'll talk about some of the barriers, some of the ways that we prevent ourselves from asking for help. Oh, those feelings of guilt. Many caregivers talk about feeling guilty. And it's really a matter of the feeling not being right or wrong, but what you do with it, how you act on that. So, some of those feelings of guilt can come out from maybe a promise that you made to your mom that you would be the one to take care of your dad. And sharing that responsibility makes it feel like maybe you're shirking your duties. Related to that, having unrealistic expectations of yourself, thinking that only you can do it all, and that you are just responsible for your loved one's health and their happiness. So, really thinking about, what expectations are you putting on yourself that might be unrealistic? Not wanting to inconvenience others. When I talk with folks in the community, a lot of times they just don't know how to help family and friends, and it's like a gift that you can give them by asking them to help. They really do want to help, they just don't know how. And we'll talk about that a little bit when we go over some tips. You might just feel worried that your request for help is going to be refused or resented. And it may be that you've been burned in the past. It might be that you just didn't ask a specific person at a time that was right for them. So don't give up on that. Just go ahead and ask. Thinking that you will appear inadequate. Again, sometimes it's hard to admit that we cannot do everything ourselves. So just know again that people do want to help. Thinking no one can do as good a job as me, that very well might be true. But if there is a task that someone can help you with, and you can take something all of you off of your to-do list, you will feel so much less overwhelmed. So it's not that you're asking someone to step in and be you and do the great job that you do, but it's okay to accept that someone's still going to help you. And with you teaching them, or if they're going to provide any hands-on care, you can give them strategies so that you can feel better, that you can let go a little bit of that control, and someone else can do a job maybe not as well as you, but they can at least get it done. And not knowing where to find help. Some people just, it's confusing. There's a lot of resources out there. So we'll talk about that as well. But let's go over, the benefits, because when you do ask for help, I mentioned this earlier, you can feel, just less overwhelmed. Crossing off items on your to-do list will just feel good. You may also feel a sense of just a relief, just to unburden yourself from sharing the needs that you have and your feelings. When you have so much to accomplish, being able to get that off your chest, being able to ask for help, again, it's not a sign of a weakness and that you can't do it all and that you're giving up. It's that you're able to articulate and communicate your feelings and your needs. And we'll talk a little bit about that too, about how to communicate well. Can also allow you to find time, for coping strategies. Maybe you have some time now for self-care. You have time to look at some relaxation techniques, time to listen to some music by yourself. There are ways that you can just reduce some stress, and now you can actually have some time for that because you've let go of some of your to-do items. And when talk about your feelings, it just hopefully can build stronger relationships with family and friends. We all have different dynamics with our families, but when you can be upfront and share what's going on during your caregiver journey, some people just don't know what you do day in, day out, and being able to just have that conversation, whether it be through a one-on-one talk or a family meeting of sorts, you can really just maybe let go of some of feelings of resentment and guilt, and you can just build some stronger relationships and those in your support network. Okay. And feeling more present with your loved one for enjoyable activities. When you don't have so many to-do lists, things that errands and hands-on care, and if you let go of some of those responsibilities and accept help, you can have more time to engage in enjoyable activities with your loved one so that you can be the spouse, you can be the child, not always just I'm in a caregiving role, I'm a caregiver. And it can also afford you some increased patience, some more compassion, because you've taken care of yourself. That is going to benefit your loved one in the quality of care that you provide. Okay, so let's now just go over some tips. It's important, again, to be realistic about what you can handle. And then look at what's left and who can help you with those tasks. Think about the strengths and the skills and the interests of people in your support network. What do your family and friends have a skill with? Is there someone that can help you manage your financial information? Is there someone who just loves to be in the garden and maybe they can tend to your garden, mow the lawn? Is there someone who maybe doesn't feel comfortable providing hands-on care or respite to your loved one, but they would certainly help you with online shopping or running an errand for you? So being upfront is what's so important, and using I messages. If you've ever heard of I versus you messages, I messages allow for you to share your feelings and your thoughts without inviting a defensive nature from someone. So an example might be, I feel exhausted. I really need a break. I need help. Okay, it allows someone to really listen to you without right away having that emotion of someone feeling defensive, like if you were just saying, you never help me. Um, Also making sure that you are specific, okay? Saying yes when someone offers you help. Again, people feel good about supporting you. It's a gift that you can give people. So instead of saying something like, oh, yes, it would be great if you could come by and lend me a hand. I would love that. Being specific, looking at your calendar, saying thank you for the offer. I actually have an appointment next Monday at 2 p.m. and I could really use some help. Can you help me or maybe help me find someone who can sit with my loved one during my appointment? So being specific with a date and time or a specific task will hopefully get you further than a vague request. And asking before you experience caregiver stress, okay? And actually knowing what those signs are very important, or if a friend or family member comes to you and says they're concerned because they're seeing these signs that you're exhibiting, please take that to heart. They're doing it out of concern for you. If you are feeling just constantly overwhelmed or worried, having fluctuations in your weight, if you are easily irritable or feeling more mood swings or angry, losing interest in activities that you once enjoyed and just kind of feeling more apathetic, having trouble concentrating, and then some of those physical signs of having frequent headaches or other, physical problems, please ask for help before you experience caregiver stress. But if you're already experiencing some of these symptoms, you need to ask now before you head to total caregiver burnout. And that will turn into an unhealthy situation for you and your loved one. And checking out online care communities, there are some websites, some apps that can really help you mobilize support. You can keep your friends and family connected. There's lots of helpinghands.com, Tizy.com. They can connect everyone in a simple and efficient way, and someone can be named as a like community leader, and they can organize and invite members, invite volunteers to sign up and relieve you of some of those responsibilities that you can get help with. And it will also send out reminders for upcoming responsibilities, so hopefully you will find those website's helpful, and there are others. But those will help you just organize support, and those who really want to make a commitment to you and aren't just, saying they'll help, but it's an empty gesture, can get on board. And gathering information about community supports early. Asking through the area agency on aging, doing an online search. I know some of these places are not open right now, like adult day programs that we provide in our group respite. But there are, once things, get back to a normal sense, things will open back up, and doing your homework now will empower you to make some good decisions in the future. So finding out about caregiver resources in your community, classes that offer dementia care topics, they're being offered virtually through the Alzheimer's Association. We are at Wellspring Solutions offering classes. And really think about joining a support group. It's a great way to learn about resources, to share your story and learn from others, and maybe they can offer some tips firsthand on asking for and accepting help. But just to share with you some of our services, just if you're looking for community support, we have our memory care center. We have Connections and Memory Club, and education and support. We are doing that virtually right now as we cannot meet in person. Our home care is operating, and we would love to be able to offer you assistance in the home. And we do have memory screenings, our memory fitness and dementia dialogue programs. And when things get back to a semblance of normalcy, we'll be offering those as well in the future. If you have any questions about our services, please call our navigator, Nicole. The number here, 545-5377. She can help you with some questions you might have about where to turn. And also, if you have ability to make a consumer contribution to Wellspring Solutions, please know that that is always greatly appreciated. It expands our program to additional caregivers in the community. And we have information on our website about that, as well as our upcoming classes and how to access our virtual support groups. So hopefully you found this helpful. I hope you can continue to stay well and be in good spirits, and we will see you next time.